Hey, what's going on guys, Migzuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a ORZHOV or Silverquill Magecraft deck for standard best of one. So it's around the end of the Strixhaven set, right? Well, it's not the end of the entire set, but it's basically the end of the fact that Strixhaven is the most recent set. And it's a couple days before the D&D one, which I'm super hyped about, and I wanted to revisit the ORZHOV Magecraft deck. It's one of the first decks that I played during Strixhaven, and it was one of my first favorite decks. The main problems that the deck runs into is that it always kind of needs one of these powerful creatures on the board, like Lumimancer, Lightscribe, or Spirit, and if your key threat is removed, you kind of don't do all that much. So you have like one or two really potent threats and a couple like cantrips, a couple pieces of interaction here and there, and you just try to get the job done with that type of spell. You're trying to get a bunch of value off these creatures, like a bunch of stat buffs. You're trying to go super wide with Clarion Spirit, and you're trying to just protect those creatures with a Selfless Savior, whilst, you know, removing some stuff which buff your creatures, or cantripping and drawing more cards which end up buffing your creatures. And so it's sort of like this, not tempo deck, but it's like an aggro game plan that's also trying to interact with your opponent to get them dead. And I'm doing the intro post the recording of the actual games. This deck is tough. I feel like it has a better shot in best of three, but in best of one, everything is hyper aggressive, and you are not the most aggressive thing out there. So you end up playing this weird sort of mid-rangey pseudo value game where you try to like remove some creatures, go really wide with Clarion Spirit, try to get value out of your Magecraft cards when you can, if you're not being the hyper aggressive player that you can be. But you also need a certain like draw for that to happen. You need Lumimancers and you need Light Scribes. And if not, you kind of just play like a weird mid-range value game. I don't know, the deck's interesting, the deck's fun. I've made a couple best of one calls. We have more Bloodchief's Thirsts, we have more removal than the typical Magecraft deck, just because there's so much aggro in best of one. We also don't want to be completely dead to ultimatums, so we have some value cards like Humiliate, Plumb the Forbidden, Call the Death Dweller, and Cling to Dust, which Cling to Dust is really good, can gain you some life, draw you some cards, and it also helps a lot against rogues. Another couple tech cards we have is Giant Killer, can be a instant, or it can be a creature. It also lets you double spell for your Clarion Spirit, which I've had come up a couple times. We have the DFC spell lands, which honestly I'm a fan of, but I think we should cut like one or two for more planes, because in best of one, playing on curve is more important than in best of three, and I end up having a lot more tap lands than I'm comfortable with, but maybe that's just me. I don't like having to play tap lands in aggro-y decks. I don't know. We have a suite of removal. We have some Banishing Verses, Heartless Axe, Eliminates, and Bloodchief's Thirsts. My favorite one, honestly, is Bloodchief's Thirst, because you're not usually playing on too much mana, and you're trying to double spell as much as you can with the Clarion Spirit, so it's really nice to have a cheap 1-mana spell. Honestly, if we can get more 1-mana spells into the deck, I feel like it would be stronger. Honestly, you might want to go for a second Cling to Dust, or like main deck Duress, if that. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff you can do with the deck. Plum's been okay. It's better against control-ier decks or mid-range-ier decks that try to sweep your board and you get to draw a bunch of cards. I've cast this for X=1 a lot, or X=0 quite a bit as well. I don't know. The deck's fun. I'm trying out a Call of the Death Dweller as well, which has been really good for me. Every time I draw it, I'm super happy. We just either get to reanimate Lurrus or reanimate like a Lumimancer and a Light Scribe, or a Clarion Spirit and a dog. Just the combinations of cards you can reanimate are so potent, because all your creatures are very relevant because you don't have too many of them. For the mana base, Locthwain has come in handy more than I'd expect. I typically end up running out of gas quite often, even with Lurrus and all the cantrips that we have. So Locthwain ends up being used quite a bit. Be careful in best of one. There's still a lot of aggression, and you will lose life with this and with this very fast. You can gain it back with the Lurrus and with the Cling, but aside from that, we don't have much life gain. Actually, we don't have any other life gain. So yeah, Snarls are nice, Pathways are nice, and these lands, while they are good in best of one, I'm not sure how good they actually are. So the deck isn't amazing, but it is a fun deck that you can play, and it's the end of the season. Honestly, let's just try to have as much fun as we can with the end of the Strixhaven meta. So if you like the deck, be sure to drop a like on the video. It will be in the description down below as always, and consider subscribing. It motivates me to make more content. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. Let's get into some games. Okay, hand is good. We're against Yorion, so we have to be pretty aggressive. We got the dog on 1, Clarion Spirit on 2, and we'll see what we can do from there. A Lock the Wane might come in handy in this match. Okay, Pathway. That's a lot of black mana. And Clarion Spirit down. Okay, well, having drawn a Plains there would have been ideal, so we can go like Defiant Strike into Show of Confidence. But Show of Confidence just copies itself. Right? Hold on, let me just double check. Okay, tap land. When you cast a spell, copy it for each other instant or sorcery you've cast this turn. Okay. I think I just attack, and I think we buy Lurrus here. I don't really want to risk cycling it into nothing, so we're gonna buy Lurrus. Cool. Opponent's on 4 mana, they go for another Cultivate. Opponent's ramping, they're doing their thing. If we could draw a Humiliate, that'd be really good. But we also need more white. This can be a white source, but I wanted the 3 mana to buy Lurrus. Okay, Lumimancer. Yeah, we need more white. It's pretty awkward. I think we go for a Defiant Strike now and just try to hit the second white source. And if not, we're just gonna end up playing like Kabira Takedown tapped. That's definitely not the second white source. So alright, we have a ton of white spells and like 1 white mana, which is just unfortunate. So we pass. If I could hold open Plum here, that'd be really good. We just don't have a Plum. 1, 2, 3 green. They need another blue now. Okay, they buy Yorion, which dies to Giant Killer, which is really nice. This Clarion Spirit's been doing absolutely nothing for us. And more black. Okay. Ton of land. So we can go like... Lumimancer into Show of Confidence, but I don't even love that. It makes another 1/1. It's not great. Maybe I just cast Lurrus here, but that's so weak also. It's really weird. We've drawn a... like, it's an awkward mix of spells. I think I just attack with these two. Play my Lumimancer and pass. Like, we can draw a castle, I guess. That might be what we end up doing. They go for a Heartless Act. I guess we protect. How close are they to Ultimatum? Green, 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 black, black, blue. They need another blue, and it's right there. They go for a Binding. Okay. On what? The Lumimancer. Okay. I guess they're going to try to flicker Binding next turn. I'll draw more swamps. Jesus. Okay, so we can go like Lurrus into Dog, which is fine. When it goes to 2. Make a 1/1. Finally, Clarion Spirit doing something. We're chipping away at the opponent's life total, that's for sure. They can go for a Yorion to blink this board, but it doesn't really do much. And now they definitely have Ultimatum mana. Like, they had it last turn as well, but if they didn't have it last turn, they could have just drawn it. If not, they're going for Yorion, Blink Binding, which isn't that strong, considering we have Selfless Savior and removal for it. Alright, they have a bunch of black mana left up. No blue, which is pretty nice. And they're blinking back the Binding the Old Gods. Okay. Resolve. I guess the opponent's on. That was weird. I thought I had like full control or something on. They're going for the spirit. I can protect here, but then my Lurrus is vulnerable. Let's say the spirit dies. I'm hitting them for 3, 4, 5. If I hold this 6, 7. Do I protect here? That's the question. I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's say they have one removal spell. They remove Lurrus, then I hit them for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're dead. No, I have to let this go. And then we have to do this on our turn. They have something. Baleful Mastery. Was this student cost? I think it was student. No, it wasn't. It was full cost because of the... It's the exile. All right, well, that's unfortunate. Okay, and then do we shoot this now then? I guess we do. Just be mana efficient since we don't have any Magecraft stuff to do. Okay. Clarion Spirit, eh? We can go Clarion Spirit into Show of Confidence. Beef up the flyer. Get another 1/1. Alright, seems fine. Like, it's not crazy, but it gets us closer to the finish line. And if I had one more white source, that'd be really good because I could hold open Giant Killer or something like a Vorinclex or an Elder Gargaroth right now. This game has been really awkward. We haven't even got to copy Show of Confidence. Did you top deck Ultimatum? Holokranos, who can fight and we can't even Giant Kill in response. I think the opponent's dead though if they go for a fight. And they're dead if they don't go for a fight. Because we just go around them. If 2 in the air, they block 1, they're just dead. And we're flooding too, which is not great. So yeah, I attack with all. They block, try to fight, I Giant Kill it, and then we just kill them. Like right now they're dead, so they have to make the first move. Okay, they try to fight this, so they only have 2 mana up. We Giant Kill in response. Two mana. What do you have? Could be Negate. I mean, I've seen some lists run it. Could be a Heartless Act. Oh, what? They had another mana somewhere? Alright, that was wild. That was weird. Okay. I protect... Where the hell is the mana? I think I'm tripping. Okay, anyways. Opponent goes to 1. To damage. Okay. I make another 1/1. Untap land would be good so we can use castle. I'm flooding a lot these games, I find. And opponent's at 1, so you know how it is. Okay, I'm gonna go back and watch that clip. Okay, opponent's dead anyways. Weird game. I actually thought they had 2 mana. I'm going to go rewatch that recording. That was just so awkward. I felt like we were missing white mana the entire time. But hey, we managed to pull through. Okay, hand is pretty good. Let's go. We have Dog into Light Scribe or 2-drop. And we're against red. Alright, so we're gonna start on Dog. Play the untapped dual land. Humiliate doesn't look great against mono red, especially on the draw, but we try to make it work. Bone Crusher Giant, Frostbite, okay. Please no other Fervent Champion. Okay, now there's a Clarion Spirit, so we can go like Light Scribe on this turn, then next turn we can go Clarion Spirit Dog. Or we can go Clarion Spirit and then try to get some spells down. But then I will need to draw on tap land. I think we get the Light Scribe down. Let's see if there's a stick. That is definitely a stick. I still think it's worth throwing the Light Scribe out here. Could have played tap land and the dog. Yeah. 2 cheap removal spells seems really good against us. Like, especially right off the bat. Okay, opponent misses their land. I'm gonna check for another stick. There is another stick. Sweet. Because of that stick, I'm going to go for a Humiliate. And just try to get the removal spell and see what they're playing or see what's in their hand. Could be a Bone Crusher Giant right here. I'm not under a lot of pressure because of the only having a Fervent Champion. Yeah, okay. So double Torbrand, sorry, double Annex and a Torbrand. I could take one of the Annexes. Or do we just take Torbrand? I think we just take Torbrand because they have 2 anyways. If they had 1, then I think we'd for sure go for it, but we'll just get rid of their 4-drop. We'll play this one tapped because I'd rather have the removal spell, and now their hand is full of 3s. Okay, 1 Annex. Alright, so what do we got? I could cast a Call the Death Dweller and get these 2 back, which isn't horrible. But I think I want to start making spirits. So we make a free 1/1, and I think I play this as a land. And pass turn. Call looks pretty good though. Get to reanimate some creatures. And then we have a massive plum if we draw land. Actually, we need like a untapped black source. And then we can go call and plum. And that seems really good. Annex will attack. I think I'm just going to chump here. So happy I took Torbrand because they drew land 4. Alright, let's go. Untap black. And that's a Cling to Dust, so not quite. I still think we go for it though, right? Like, it's still pretty good. Man, I really wish I had another black source. Maybe I try to cling into it, exile like a Frostbite. But if I whiff on the black source, it's so bad. Alright, let's not be so greedy and we'll just call back these 2. Death Touch, Menace, both on the Light Scribe. And no attacks. So now we can protect the Light Scribe with a dog and it kills anything because of the Death Touch. Okay. Opponent goes all in, almost all in, sorry. Alright, so this says whenever another non-token creature you control dies, so we should probably get Annex off the board. So how do we want to block? I think just Annex, right? We take 8. Seems okay. And we give this thing protection. Okay, we go to 6. Not ideal. And the opponent gets some 1/1s. We actually would have hit the black land, which is pretty funny. Okay, so what do we want to do now? We can cling plus plum. How many Magecraft triggers am I going to get? I feel like we have to be defensive though, which is so unfortunate. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, we can do this all at instant speed. Make some 1/1s. I think we just say no attacks. I can actually attack with this, but I think we need the whole board. We're playing a very defensive Magecraft game with what is supposed to be a very aggressive deck. Okay, other Annex comes down, which we knew they had. They're doing this pre-combat to make sure that they get their tokens if anything dies. Okay. Plenty of attacks. Oh yeah, plenty of attacks. There is an attack all button. Opponent just elected not to use it. Resolve. Resolve. Okay. So I'm gonna have a pretty big board here. I don't think I'm plumbing for anything else. I think I'm gonna plumb first. See what I hit. Sacrifice 0. Confirm. Literally just 2 mana, draw a card. Alright, Lochthwain. And then block, block, block. I think we do this to draw. So we exile their Frostbite. Okay, bunch of land, which is not ideal. So we block here, 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 go to 1. I guess that's what we're doing. Make sure we actually do the block, right? Okay. Second annex is super frustrating. And flooding isn't ideal. Okay. And now it's my turn. Okay, there's a Clarion Spirit. And I still can't actually cast Cling to Dust. But if something dies, then we can cast Cling to Dust. Okay, so I'm definitely playing the Spirit out. And I'm going to play the Castle. We're on 1. Do I buy Luris or do I potentially have Cling open? I think I potentially have Cling open. No attacks. Okay. That's a land and that's a Fervent Champion. Are we dead? We might be dead here. I'm gonna go to blocks anyways because, well, what can you do? Okay. So, everything here has 1 more power. Right, so we go to blockers. You die. You get blocked. You get blocked? Actually, sorry. You go here. You go here. You go here. You go here. And we actually do live. So we go here. Sack, make. Which one indestructible? We make you indestructible. Which lets me cling the Tor brand out. And then we gain 3 life and pump the squad. So we're not dead to this 1/1. Yeah. What is this, like 2nd or 3rd annex? Jeez, all these satyrs, so brutal. Yeah. And we drew land. Alright, well that's really bad. So we can go like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we're just dead. Because I don't have any dogs in the yard. Because we had to exile them, and we just drew like 3 consecutive lands. That's super unfortunate. Yeah. It be what it be. No attacks. If I drew like an actual creature and could make a 1/1, I don't know if I'm dead, but I'm definitely more in it. Okay, opponent attacks all. Hold on. Let's say I go here, block, block, block. I'm gaining 3 life, so I'm not actually dead. Did they have a cleave? If they top that cleave, like, we're just super dead. They buff a Rimrock Knight. Okay, so I'm not actually dead. I go up to 3 here. Alright, and the opponent casts the Rimrock Knight. Clarion Spirit, eh? Well... let's go, like, give me a Defiant Strike or something. Plum. Well. Plum is a card. We sack 0 here. Go really wide and draw another land. Okay. Am I dead? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm not actually dead. Can the opponent please draw a land? I'm dead to a removal spell. I'm dead to a Bone Crusher Giant face. I'm dead to a cleave. Dead to a lot of stuff. Charger. Okay, not actually dead to a charger. Can I not draw land? Can I get like double cantrip? I have so many removal spells. The opponent goes in with a Bone Crusher Giant, which I will trade for the Light Scribe. Oh my god. We just flooded out at the end there. I think I drew like, what, so many lands in a row. Drew 10 lands this game, opponent drew 4. What a depressing way to go out. Now we're just 1, 2, 3, yeah. Well, one more card in the yard and we would have lived, which is super depressing. Well, we'll see what they do. I mean, they know I have the Snarl. They know I'm just dead. Damn. I feel like one more cantrip or like a removal spell and we would have been fine because I could remove the charger and gain some life with the cling. They have another charger. Yeah, literally one more like non-land and we're probably good there. Yeah. It be what it be. Right, like we're just dead now because we couldn't make 2 1/1s and then couldn't gain some life off the cling. We'll see what I've drawn. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, we would have gotten drained by that too. Depressing game. Really close though. Okay, well, we're not keeping a 1-lander. That's a lot better. That is definitely a lot better. And I think I drop off the Show of Confidence. Against Jagantha, it's probably an adventure deck. So we're going to start with the 1-2 Magecraft combo. And we have some actual instants or sorceries, which is pretty nice. Yep, there's the Sentinel. Okay. So we play out the Light Scribe, and we're going to pass the turn. We have a nice little setup here. Bone Crusher Giant looks really bad. I could have also just... Sorry, really good. Really bad for us is what I meant. We could have also played tapped Takedown and hold open mana to bluff against Bone Crusher Giant. We'll see. Innkeeper into what? Shepherd? Oh man, okay. Okay. So we can play Heartless Act on the Shepherd and then just get in there. Seems okay. I mean, I think we're just trying to kill the opponent anyways. So we just blow this up. Beef up the squad. Play my lands, which we're gonna need. Get in there for 6. Good damage, good damage. Then we have Exile a Thing, +1/+0. A lot of Magecraft triggers. We'll see what we can do. And the mana lines up with the double white. Okay. Just slamming the 5/5. Interesting. So I can go Bloodchief's Thirst on the Innkeeper. I think we just try to get as much damage as we can. If I hit a untapped black, we might just kill them. We don't, which is unfortunate, but I can still Vanishing Verse the Lovestruck Beast and get in there for 11. Nice. And now we have a Bloodchief's Thirst along with a Clarion Spirit, so we can double spell next turn anyways. So this isn't going too bad. Innkeeper. Opponent's gonna need to start chump blocking. Innkeeper pass, eh? We were so close to just lethal last turn. What do I blow up? Innkeeper or Sentinel? I think it's the Sentinel, right? Just because we make flyers. And I think the opponent has Bone Crusher Giant here. We have no instance, so he can't really play around it. Weird. Let that resolve. Let the light scrapping resolve. Okay, perfect. Okay. Now we just have a bunch of 3/3s. Is the opponent dead? Did they mess up? I attack. Did we get there, boys? Did we get there? What can they have? Nothing, apparently. Weird game. But let's go. Magecraft victory.